So I think I've been pretty pro Deandre Ayton up to this point, and I'm kind of going to continue to do that with this vid. What can we expect for Deandre Ayton's second season? Well, I think Ayton's very talented. I think most would agree. The offense is there. The post game, the craftiness, the get the hell out of my way so I can put this in the rimness. The rebounding signs are all there if they're not already here. I mean, 3 offensive boards a game, pretty damn good for a rookie. He's got the mid-range, he's got spin moves, hook shots, turnaround jumpers. It's all there for Deandre Ayton, it really is. And now, I'm assuming that there's not going to be as many stupid possessions from the Suns. Looking at Monty Williams, while I don't think his offense was that great with the Pelicans, if you dive into the numbers, and I've said this before, if you dive into the numbers in terms of how often they turn the ball over and stuff like that, they had a lot of that stuff under control, which to me just says this team is just going to look like an actual basketball team a little bit more. We can argue about the talent, but hopefully now there's just not going to be random Kelly Oubre contested threes or Mikal Bridges contested threes, because that was kind of a thing, or Tyler Johnson taking over at times, or Josh Jackson isn't on the team anymore, and he would have times where he would try to take a guy off the dribble and he sucks. And also, to speak on Monty Williams a little more, I think he'll just understand the way that the NBA works more than Kokoshkov did, because Kokoshkov wanted to run his offense, and that's just what he wanted to do, because I think he kind of had that similar mentality to David Blatt, which was the belief that the coach is above the players, whereas in the NBA it's the other way around. So in other words, you do stuff with your specific players in mind, which is what Kokoshkov did not do. So I think Monty, going into this, knows that he has to get the ball to Ayton. And then another part of it is because of Ricky Rubio. And yeah, I still don't love it because they had to give away TJ Warren to make it happen. But they did still get a real point guard. And this team desperately needed one because of all the stupid possessions that they would have last year. Devin Booker, he did about as well as you could expect him to do with everything around him. But he's not a natural point guard, right? He's going to just try to make a play. And if he sees an open teammate, he'll pass him the ball. Ricky Rubio is going to have the mindset of, I got to give the ball to Deandre Ayton in the post because I either am confident that the guy guarding him can't do it, or we haven't gotten him the ball enough. Rubio's just going to think differently than anybody else on the Suns team. Now, is there a case to make that Rubio's lack of shooting is going to hurt him? Yes, but I think he'll do some good things for them as well. And given that this team is basically already at rock bottom, that's probably still an accomplishment. Now, our team's going to be able to just load up on Ayton. They can dare some of these Suns to make shots. I think so. I don't think Tyler Johnson or Kelly Oubre are really scaring anyone. I guess Frank Kaminsky is going to serve as a stretch 4 since they've already got Baines and Ayton. And Kaminsky's shooting the last 2 years has been at least something. Over league average at about 3 to 3.5 attempts a game. It's something. It's not terrifying a defense, but he can make a shot at least. And, Cameron Johnson was a really good shooter in college. Mikal Bridges has shown some signs. Dario Saric has improved his shooting, although I am still a little concerned with Saric. Part of me thinks the idea of him is better than the actual him. Whatever. But I do think the stuff around Ayton's just not going to be as stupid, and I think highly enough of Deandre Ayton to say that part of the potential disappointment of his rookie season, of which I don't think there was that many, but there could have been a little, was mainly due to the stuff around him rather than him himself. At least when we're talking about offense. Defense, okay. He came into the league kind of horrible in terms of defending the pick and roll, defending in space, all that stuff. And I would say by the time the season ended, he was below average, which is still a pretty big jump. And I've said this before, and it's in one video that I made somewhere, The overtime he had against the Orlando Magic was probably the best defensive stretch he put on all season. Not that I watched every single Suns game, so I could be dead wrong there. But I've seen Deandre Ayton play good defense against a not awful team for a stretch of time where he was stepping out on shooters and doing all the stuff he was supposed to do. So I think it's in there. I think he is physically able to play defense. It's just a matter of, is he going to be locked in like that at all times? And is he going to defend if he doesn't get the ball as much as he would really like to, which I think is kind of always a trend, especially for post-up big guys, even with like Rubio and whatever else being here. Now, I think I mentioned Monty Williams earlier. I genuinely don't remember, but I think I did. How can he directly help Ayton? Offensively, I don't really know. I don't think Anthony Davis was helped that much by Monty Williams. I think it was just because he's really good. I mean, Monty gave way too much freedom to Tyreke Evans. And I think in general, Monty just wasn't the savviest dude in the world, but he was really good out of timeouts. And also, he's going to instill a culture and all that. I mean, I talked about this in the Monty Williams video from whenever ago, but as far as strict X's and O's things for Ayton, I don't really know. I'm sure Monty has a few ideas that I can't think of, so hopefully Ayton's just moving around in some ways, or if they can get Ayton some switches or whatever else. I mean, you know, given Ayton's skill set, it's pretty easy to just have him set screens and assume it'll go well, especially if Booker's the one with the ball. But even so, you hope Monty just has a little more there. Don't know he's going to have to prove it. It would also be nice if the guys around Ayton could be good defensively. Rubio is cool. He's not a bad defender. I don't know if I could say that about anybody else in this team. I guess Mikal Bridges would be the other one. Not that I think he's on some trajectory to being a lockdown guy, but I think the signs are there for him to be solid. And then between Saric, Kaminsky, I guess, who are going to be the power forwards of this team, Kelly Oubre could get some small ball 4. Cameron Johnson, I don't know. Yeah, I think some of it's going to have to be just Ayton himself improving defensively. So we'll see if he gets there. If I can predict the stat line, I could see Ayton hitting 20 points a game this year. Especially because TJ's gone and he was taking shots. Rubio comes in. Rubio's not going to take as many. Assuming Tyler Johnson and Kelly Oubre don't hijack the offense too much. And one last thing before I get out of here.